What's up, guys? I'm here to talk about the Louisville game from yesterday. Need a moment to process my mind, figure out what happened because we are kind of used to that result. Like, usually we have a result like that once a year, but we never have that in Chapel Hill, and that was the most stunning part of all of this. But I'll get back to that part in a little bit. Let's just talk about some topics. This team in general, what happened yesterday, and what's happening going forward. There's some trends forming. I think we saw this. The announcers yesterday mentioned it. They just need more discussion. So let's go ahead and get started. First of all, was the effort. I don't know what happened. I don't know if this team thought that they did the job by going to state and getting the win. A really good win at NC State. NC State is at the time was a top 15 team. There's no reason to believe that they're going to knock back any more than like maybe 2 ranking spots at most. That was a great win for us. So we did the thing. Now we're playing Louisville this Saturday, and Louisville comes out and punches us in the throat, like in the first 4 minutes. Like in the first 4 minutes, I think when we got to the first TV timeout, the score was like 18-8. And our team just did not have a response. We couldn't even string together a few stops. And that to me is just really the stunning part. Like, let's hone in on this defense. Defense, a lot of people will tell you, is mostly effort. And you got to put hands in people's face. Like, you got to challenge them. Granted, Louisville came out hot. So there may have been a scenario where UNC did play 100% effort and still lose the game yesterday because Louisville was on one yesterday. But you don't give yourself a chance if you don't give your all. There weren't hands in people's faces. Everything was just so wide open. The threes were wide open. Anytime the ball got into Enoch, their big guy inside, it was barbecue chicken. So yesterday was a defensive disaster across the board. If there is a tape on how not to play defense, that is the tape. That is literally the tape. Because we just did not play it yesterday. And I think that goes back to effort. Our team didn't like they had it, which was stunning. The fact that you were playing in Chapel Hill, you're playing in front of your home crowd, and to lay that kind of egg out there. Like, again, I'm going to revisit this in a second. I'm going to come back to the impact of that home loss, because to me it's a very big deal. It's a very big deal. So that's effort. We didn't come out with the effort we needed to. We mentioned Kobe White in the first half. He got 2 quick fouls. Granted, the few minutes he played early on was not ideal. He had a couple of turnovers. Like, it was brutal. Like, the opening of that game was brutal. But Roy set him out, and I think he may have had like another small stint in the first half. But for the most part, he was out. And we did a lot of Seventh Woods at point guard, and we did maybe a portion where Leaky Black was the point guard for a little bit. The truth of the matter is, there was a moment in our non-conference when we thought that with Kobe White and Seventh Woods, we have 2 really good point guards, and we'll be fine. Granted, we know at this point that Kobe White's the better one of the 2, but Seventh Woods is confident he can hold his own. Well, it seems like Seventh Woods' play is regressing back to the mean, and I don't know if that's where his mean is. I mean, that's as far as him in a Carolina outfit is, it looked like he's regressing to the mean. I don't know if his mean is better than that, but we're not getting the type of play that we really need from Seventh Woods. And it's reflecting in the stats. Like, there was something from, I think, Adrian Atkinson on Twitter. He does like a bunch of advanced analytics with Carolina. And the stats don't necessarily include the Louisville game that happened yesterday. But in the 4 games, it was like Davidson, Harvard, Pitt, and NC State. When Kobe White was our point guard, we outscored the competition by 98 points. When Seventh Woods was the point guard, we were outscored by 31 points. And I think Kobe White had 110 minutes at point guard, and Seventh Woods had 45 minutes at point guard. So that's what we're dealing with. There's clearly a big divide in the way that the team is playing with these players out here. So it's absolutely clear who's one and who's two. But the problem is this. When Kobe White got that second foul really early in the first half and Roy set him down, it just felt doomed from that moment because Seven Woods, I assume he's playing the best he can, but it's just, something is just not there. I'm happy that he got his first layup attempt that wasn't blocked in quite some time. Like, he had a string of like 6 or 7 straight shots at the rim that were blocked. So he snapped that yesterday. Good for him. He needs more attempts like that. More, I guess, contorting your body, finding the other player's body, and making sure that he cannot block your shot. More of that. So that's good. But Seven just can't push the pace up like Kobe White. And this team struggles heavily in half-court offense, which I'm going to bring up in a second. I was talking to my friend yesterday, and he said he don't understand why coaches is the logic is you get 2 fouls in the first half, you sit that player down regardless, and in hopes that, I guess the gamble is if you keep him in, he may foul out. The word is may. By sitting him down, only thing you're doing is guaranteeing that he's not going to be playing the rest of the first half. And the way our team is set up and the way our point guards are looking, that mess was dangerous. And frankly, it probably cost us that game. I think that was, I went on Inside Carolina, the premium boards, and after every game, we usually get like some kind of a former player post. He posted thoughts on each game. And he said when Kobe White got those 2 fouls and Roy set him down, the game was doomed. He said that. And that's kind of the way it felt because Kobe can push the offense in the way that Seven just can't. And this team's half-court offense leaves a lot to be desired. So that's what we're putting up with in terms of that. Kobe's going to learn better to do in terms of fouling, sure. But I also believe that Roy, in the situations where Kobe does pick up fouls like that, he might have to trust Kobe a lot more than he trusts the typical player. Or I guess the typical freshman. So there's that. Now this half-court offense thing. We're just going to be better in half-court offense, y'all. We just got to be better. Our transition offense is lethal. But what's happening is we're playing a bunch of teams. Well, even in Louisville's case yesterday, we kept getting the ball out of our own basket against Louisville. However, Louisville is also one of the slower teams in Division I. Their defensive tempo is at this moment 279th out of 353 Division I teams. Louisville plays a very slow game, which means that the fast-court opportunities were going to be limited anyway, and we need to be able to execute in our half-court offenses. And this is really a trend when you look down at our losses, like the Michigan loss. Michigan, their tempo is 323rd. Texas, 302nd. Now, I see Kentucky here, and I actually thought Kentucky was more towards the middle. They are 197th, so they're not even playing they're not playing a middle tempo themselves. They're playing a slower tick than average tempo. And that's where our losses are coming from. And I guess that we managed to get away with one at NC State. One, because State does State things. They had a chance to really get that game, and they pulled a State. 2, State is willing to run with us. For comparison, UNC is 5th in adjusted tempo. State is 9th. State was willing to run with us. And when you're willing to run with us, those opportunities, those fast court opportunities, fast break, those will be there. And we're lethal in that. So I think we got away with the one in Raleigh, and we got a really good win there. But the truth of the matter is, we got a lot more slow tempo teams on the schedule. Like, we play Louisville again, Syracuse, UVA, Virginia Tech plays slow these days. Clemson, they're all below, I think, 175. I think all of them were below 175. Frankly, most of them were below 200 in tempo. So we need to be better in our half-court execution because those fast break opportunities will not always be there. And everybody knows the book on Carolina is to slow us down anyway. You may have opportunities like Maybe the second time we play State, Kevin Keats opts to pull a Mark Godfrey and said, you know what, even though our team operates better playing this fast tempo, we're trying to get Carolina out of their element, so we're going to slow our game all the way down to a crawl and have Carolina uncomfortable. Teams do that. Like Mark Godfrey did that one year when they beat us in Chapel Hill. So we got to deal with that, in addition to these slower tempo ACC teams still on the schedule. So we're going to need to find ways to be better in our half-court offense execution. When teams are King Cam Johnson, who else is going to step up and make some plays? That's the question. Now, next point, the impact of this loss on ACC play. Remember I said earlier in this video that if you're a UNC basketball fan, we usually always have at least one game that is like a one-off where we just get blown out for no reason. Like, we're just not in the game. Everything goes wrong. We get blown out. However, that game is always on the road. We never get blown out like at home like that. That loss yesterday was the worst home loss ever with Roy Williams as our head coach, and the worst loss at UNC since 2002. So we don't deal with that. And the reason why I'm saying that loss matters is because the ACC is a difficult conference. Clearly, it's a difficult conference. There are, I can't remember, is it 4 or 5 teams, ACC teams in the top 15? We have a lot of games left on our schedule that are vulnerable to a blowout result. We have, we have several of those games. So we need to be better at that. And the last thing you want to do is get blown out at home like that. You got to take care of your house. You got to hold your own in your home games. Even if we lost by 5 yesterday, that would be a lot better than us losing by what we did, 21. Because you don't want your one-off blowout to be at home. There are enough away games that could potentially turn to a blowout where you need to take care of your home. And yesterday we didn't do it. And that to me was the most stunning part of everything that happened yesterday. That mess happened in Chapel Hill with all those Carolina Blue sitting on their hands for most of the game because nothing on the court went right. Nothing. So I hope we figure this out. The way that this ACC schedule is set up, I would tell you to plan for another blowout loss somewhere on the road. I would plan for that because that one-off happened at home. That usually doesn't happen. I do expect we have enough tough teams in the ACC where one might get us on a bad night and wear us out. I would expect that. So that's why I'm saying prepare yourselves. You've been warned. Now, let's go to our last one. We're going to talk about going forward. The 5 position, the center position, it's been a problem for a couple years now. It's going to continue to be a problem this year. Garrison Brooks is playing, to me, the best he can. He is making some strides. I think his defense has been better for the most part. We don't have a low post option to throw the ball into when our offense is just shaken up. When the game is going awry and we need to just do, here's our play A to get some points. We don't have that low post dominant player that we can just throw the ball to inside and just tell him to work. We don't have that because Garrison Brooks is not that guy. And Luke May is more perimeter oriented himself. And that really hurts us because when we don't make our shots, like yesterday we were 3 of 22 from the 3-point line. When that's happening and we don't have a reliable low post presence and offensively, games can get away from us very quick. And hand in hand with that, this team is another one of those, I call it high ceiling, low floor teams. Our ceiling, even with the 20-some turnovers, Gonzaga, when all those shots were falling and we were just scoring at will. Like, that's our ceiling. Because when our shots go down, we're hard to beat. But if our shots don't go down, we don't play strong enough. We don't have enough of a low post presence defensively. And we're not really putting a strong defense in general. I'm not going to lob that out there, even though we did not play it yesterday. We did not play defense yesterday. But we came to that game yesterday with, I believe, the 10th best defense. And I think we still have a defense in the top 20. So I won't say that. But our defense, you can get our defense. I'll say that. We have the way our defense is set up on the inside. If you can get the ball inside and you have a mismatch like Louisville did with Enoch yesterday, Carolina has going to have to find ways to counteract that. And it's going to be difficult. Our defense is not going to be shot blocking, meet you at the rim defense. It's going to be getting the passing lanes, maybe some more trapping, some zone, curveballs at times. Like that's going to have to be our defense if we want to be good at it. So that's going to be our issue. Just know that we do have a few big teams on the schedule. Like Duke comes to mind. We played them twice. Florida State, we got them on the schedule. I can't think of any others. I'm sure Virginia probably has some big out somewhere. So we better be ready because these guys will come with their 7-foot bigs and they're just going to try to lob the ball inside and take advantage of that. Louisville certainly did yesterday. Also, finishing around the rim. Remember when we were talking about Seventh Woods and how he kept getting blocked over and over again? Our team in general is not converting at the rim, at least recently, at a clip that they should be. Even with some contests, you got to be better. You got to be better at converting around the rim. Luke May was missing some bunnies. I think Cam Johnson was missing some bunnies. There are players on the team who are missing bunnies at the rim. And if we can't make our close shots when we do get to the rim, and we're not making our threes, we're not making shots in general, it's no holds barred. Anything can happen. And most of those scenarios are going to be us on the losing end, possibly by a lot. So, hand in hand with us trying to get better on half-court offense, we're going to need to be better in our finishing around the rim. And I guess these are flaws that, the way this roster is set up, there are certain flaws that we can see from a mile away. You saw the foul position being an issue at the door. You saw that. But this roster is going to find a way to overcompensate for, I guess, its physical flaws. It's going to have to bring more to the table. This team is not a team that can come out here with 5 to 10% less effort than what is required to win the game and still win the game. This is one of those teams where if the effort is off 5 to 10%, the game can go awry like it did yesterday. Like I said, high ceiling, low floor. There's a low margin of error for this team. So we just got to be better than that. All around, in closing, I'm going to put the Louisville loss in a wait and see category. I don't know what to make of this loss. I don't know if it says anything. To me, I'm willing to write it off as a one-off. But it's one of those wait and see. How does this team respond after getting punched in the throat like that in its own house? We'll see. I think our next game is Notre Dame at home. And then we have Miami on the road. And then we have a big one against Virginia Tech at home. And Virginia Tech is a top 10 team as I talk to y'all right now. So we have our work cut out for us. And this is before February when the schedule really ramps up and we all of a sudden have to play Duke and Cuse and Virginia. So we're going to steady the ship a little bit right now. We've been handed a very favorable schedule. We're not playing any of the super huge teams away from home like that this year. Outside of our home and home with Duke, I believe. We don't have any of those big major teams away from home. Most of them come to Chapel Hill to play us. That's to our advantage. We got to take care of that. Which is all the more reason why yesterday shouldn't have happened. Because you got to take care of the house. You just got to. So I'll just go ahead and say wait and see. My yellow flags are out because I don't know what this team's going to do. The warning flags are out and about. And we'll see what happens next. And we'll see if this team responds. I want to see who's going to be the leader of this team. I think some people thought it was Luke May. Maybe it could still be Luke May. Somebody got to take a hold of this team. Somebody, Cam Johnson, somebody, Kobe White. Somebody's going to be the leader on this team. Who's going to be that leader? We'll find out. This is Jonathan Axton signing off.